All righty. So I think we're going to go ahead and get everything kicked off. Again, thank you so much to everyone for being here today with us. We absolutely appreciate y'all for taking the time out during your busy work week to join our webinar series. My name is Kennedy Esteen, and I am currently the Assistant Recruitment Manager of Admission here at Crummer. And I'm going to introduce you all and kick it over to my colleagues that are also here on the call with us today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Barisic. I serve as the Associate Director of Admission here at Crummer, and I recruit specifically for the Executive Management of Business Administration as well as a doctoral degree. So if you have any questions about that, I'm here to help. And then we also have our colleague Anthony on here. I'll allow him to introduce himself.
Sure, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anthony Tufano. I am our Associate Operations and Database Manager here at Crummer. So while I will be a part of this call, I will be in the back, pretty quiet, more to serve as technical support for Kennedy or Sarah during this presentation, as well as for anything with the application itself. I work behind the scenes, so I can help out with anything like that if you have any questions particular onto that realm. But thank you for joining us, and I'll hand it back over.
Thank you. So that is our team that we have with you all here today. So just to give you guys a rundown, we do have a presentation that will go through pretty much with everything in terms of the application and all the information that you need to know. And then once we finish with the presentation, we will have breakout rooms. So that way, if you have any specific personalized questions that you have for Sarah or myself, we can definitely go through those with you. So that way you have that personalized touch and feel more comfortable and confident when you are submitting your application. Once we do finish with the breakout rooms, then you will be free to go. You don't have to stay around or anything like that. But of course, if you do have any questions past that, you'll also be able to reach out to us via email or schedule an appointment. And then you'll also see that information during the slideshow. So once that information does come up, be sure to take a picture so that way you can have that information moving forward. All righty. All righty. All good? Okay. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our webinar series. So again, thank you so much for everyone being here today. We will go through what makes a strong application to Crummer. This is a part of a three-part webinar series that we will be hosting. So if you are interested in any of the other webinars we'll be hosting, please be sure to take a look at our website. We have all of those listed there for you as well. All righty, so connect with the admission team. So as you can see, we have all of our lovely pictures and information up here. So again, myself, Kennedy, the assistant recruitment manager. Of course, we have Sarah on there, who is the associate director of admission. And then, of course, our director of admission, Alyssa Jovita, who unfortunately couldn't be with us here today. But we do have all of our contact information up there. So if there's any questions that you have, any concerns, any support that we can provide whatsoever, you're more than welcome to reach out to any of us. And then we also do have our MBA admissions inbox email up there as well. So you can send any information that you have there. And then also you can give us a phone call. So if you want, you guys can go ahead and take a picture of this slide so that way you can reference back to that at any moment that you may need it. All righty, so just a little bit of information here, a little bit of tradition. So we are located on the campus of Rollins College. Rollins was founded in 1885, and then about 80 years later, Crummer opened in 1965. With that being said, Rollins is SAC accredited, and then here within Crummer, we do have an AACSB accreditation. So that does put us within the top 5% of business schools. So that is definitely an accreditation that we are proud of and gone through the rigors to make sure that we uphold that as well. So definitely when you are sourcing for MBA programs and business schools, that accreditation is definitely something that you want to look for. Within Crummer, we do have 3 MBA programs and 1 EDBA program, as you see on the screen there. So we have our Early Advantage full-time program. We have our part-time Flex MBA program, And then we also have our part-time executive MBA program. And we will definitely go through all of these programs with you guys today. So that way you can have a little bit more information about which program might be the best fit for you as you go through your application process. And then we do also offer the EDBA program, which was actually Florida's first accredited doctorate in business administration degree. When it comes to job placement and transitions, as you can see, we have a lot of options here for you as well. So any ranges from sales to marketing, consulting, finance, logistics, technology, anything that you are looking for. Just know that we do offer that in terms of placement and transitions. And then also when it comes to job location and job placement, we do have a 77% placement rate here in the state of Florida. Melissa, I think I'm going to go ahead and just mute you for a moment. So we do have a 77% placement rate in the state of Florida, a 16% placement rate in the US, and then 7% globally as well. Alrighty, so the Early Advantage Program. So again, this is our full-time program. So this is more so geared towards recent college graduates, career changers, or even our international student population. Depending on which semester you start, whether it be fall or the spring, you can be looking at 16 months versus 20 months. And this does come with a global business experience, as well as several consulting opportunities, domestic and international. There is also an internship component within this program that is not offered with our other programs here, which is very, very important, especially for our recent college graduates who are looking to get that experience and get themselves out there and really build up their portfolio and resume that way. And then also, there is a mentorship program with this as well. Moving forward, there are 7 concentrations that would be available to you within your second year of this program. So you can do anything from business analytics, finance, marketing, international business, operation techs, or even sustainable entrepreneurship and enterprise. So if any of those concentrations are of interest to you, then you definitely will have your options available for you there within your second year of this program. Moving forward into our Flex MBA program. So this is a little bit different from my Early Advantage program. This is a part-time program. So this is more so for working professionals with about 2 to 5 years of working experience. You know, you don't have all day to designate towards going to school. If you have family and, you know, other obligations there, you are able to attend this program 2 evenings a week. So 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And it depends on which semester, depends on the days that these are offered. So as you can see, if you were to start in fall, you would have a Monday, Wednesday schedule versus if you start in the spring, that would be Tuesday, Thursday. So if your schedule is a little bit tighter and you don't have as much time to commit, definitely take that into consideration as you are applying for this program. The great thing about this flex program is that it is very flexible. So you are able to do up to 45% of your courses online, which is amazing. And then you can choose again to do in person or online for your courses with that traditional in-class format as well. This program does come with a global business experience component as well, again with the domestic and international consulting projects. And this one only has 4 concentrations. So this one focuses on entrepreneurship, finance, marketing, and business analytics. Again, still a really great program depending on your goals and what you are looking to achieve. The great thing about this program is that there is no GMAT requirement as well. And then scholarships are based on our priority consideration deadline that is actually coming up this Friday, March 15th. Now into our executive MBA program. This is our other part-time program. This actually is newly designed in terms of the formatting and the curriculum. So it does focus more so on value creation, executive leadership development, and it is offered 1 weekend per month for 20 months. So you can be coming in Friday and Saturday. There are maybe some additional optional days there on potential Sundays, but you'll definitely be able to notice that this is more of for senior level professionals with about 10 years more of related business field experience. And there is also a global immersion component as well. Melissa, I see that you have your hand raised, and we will go ahead and do a Q&A at the end once we do our breakout rooms. So just go ahead and hang on to that question and we'll be sure to get that answered for you, okay? Thank you. Alrighty, so we do also have graduate certificates. So as you can see, this is for our graduate certificate in business analytics. So this is really providing you with that expertise that you may need if you're not able to possibly do a full-time program or a full-length program with us per se. So it really has that competitive advantage where you're able to do different things with data and identify those different insights there and really be able to solve those organizational challenges that you may be seeing, but maybe you're not able to put in as much time with a full-time or part-time program. So the certificate would be a really great option for you as well. And then on the flip side, outside of business analytics, we do also offer a graduate certificate in entrepreneurship. So as you can see, this is really more insight into the entrepreneurship world, develop your skills, really take your business acumen to that next level. So if you're an entrepreneur and you have a business idea, you have that business development and you really want to take it to that next step and take it a little bit further, this would definitely be the graduate certificate for you. The courses are tailored specifically to those entrepreneurial skill sets. So different things like risk management, strategic marketing, these are all things that you'll need within that program and component. And we really want to provide that for you within this graduate certificate opportunity. And the application process. So for the graduate certificates, it's very different from the other programs, which we'll get to in just a moment. But for the graduate certificates, you will need a short essay, so essentially a statement of purpose, and a resume, as well as any official university transcript where you've taken more than 15 credit hours. The rate is $1,100 per credit hour for this program, as well as we do accept any sort of employer payment plan, and then you also do have a student payment plan. So depending on the amount of months depends on the payment plan that you're able to set up with our student accounts office as well. Alrighty, so the application and admission requirements for our other three programs. So Early Advantage, Flex, and Executive MBA, as you can see, they all pretty much have the same requirements. The only difference is that we are now standardized test optional. So if you do believe that this will aid in the strength of your application, then you're more than welcome to go ahead and submit these standardized test scores. However, it is optional and not required overall. So each program does require your transcripts, again, 15 credits or more from your previous university, your statement of purpose, your resume, and then letters of recommendation. And we'll definitely get into the differences here in just a moment as well. I would like to also point out for our international students, a TOEFL score may be required on a case-by-case basis based on, different language skills and for the admission process, and then also a transcript evaluation. So any international degrees, we must receive that transcript evaluation with the GPA calculation as well. And then also it has to be by a NACES approved organization. So if you've ever heard of a WES eval, that is essentially what we are alluding to. And on their website, they tell you all the different qualifications that you can find there as well. Alrighty, so funding your MBA. Love this conversation. Everyone wants to know how can you fund your MBA, so we're going to talk about that today. So all students do get automatic consideration for partial scholarships as long as you apply by our priority consideration deadline, which is March 15th, coming up this Friday. Outside of that, we do accept employer tuition support. So if you do have your employer, definitely check your HR guidelines to see if they offer that tuition remission, because there may be additional funding for you there as well. If anyone is a part of if they have any military. We do accept the GI Bill as well as we are a yellow ribbon institution. So if you are able to pay your tuition cost and you're eligible for the veterans benefits, then we definitely do accept those as well. For our early advantage students, we do have graduate assistantships. So if this is of interest to you, we can definitely talk about this further in your admission interview. And then, of course, graduate loans. So any loans that you may have, we do accept those as well. Alrighty, so let's get a little bit more into the application process. So all applications are reviewed once all materials are received, i.e. the materials that we went over. So your statement of purpose, your transcripts, your resume, and your letters of recommendation. So then you are invited to a one-on-one interview with the admission team. So this can be virtually or in person, depending on your availability, your location. We definitely want to give you some flexibility there. Typically, the interview is about an hour long. And then decisions are reached electronically about a week or so after your interview. So typically, if you are accepted into the university, then you will have 2 weeks to submit your application deposit. This deposit is non-refundable, but it does go towards your tuition, and it also secures your spot for that upcoming semester. Now, let's say worst case scenario, if you do need to defer, you are able to defer up to a year. So the next 2 semesters, you can apply that deposit towards those as well. Now let's get a little bit more into each step here. So with the application, again, it is a holistic review. We want to know pretty much everything that we can about you and in order to make that admission decision. So we want to see your critical and analytical thinking skills, your creativity, really just how are you a leader and how do you set trends and not just follow them. So within your application, just remember that, and we are able to, answer any questions that you have in terms of, what we look for, but definitely in terms of that holistic review, that is what we are looking at. Now, with your transcript, we do want to make sure that your degree program, your institution, your GPA is on there, but also we are looking for the different qualitative data that is on there. So, how did you do in a course? How many A's or B's or C's, what did you make C's or D's in, things of that nature. So that way we can continue that conversation and really just walk you through the transcripts that way. Outside of that, with your statement of purpose and your personal statement. Typically, it's about 500 words, really just showcasing your ability to write effectively. We really want to hear from you, learn about you, hear about your background and your story, and how has this journey essentially led you to where you are, to now you are applying to be a part of Crummer and be a part of our programs. What separates you from the other applicants? This is really a way for us to get to know you and, know why you are pursuing Crummer. So with that being said, we do look at spelling and grammar. This is a graduate MBA program, so definitely want to make sure that you guys are paying attention to the fine details there as well. Now, when it comes to your recommendation, this can definitely look different from an early advantage candidate versus an executive MBA candidate. So with that recommendation, if you are an early advantage student, maybe you don't have a manager or a supervisor, so you can look to your instructors, your professors, someone that, might be within the academic realm that can speak highly of you. We definitely want to steer clear of family members. We love family. We know that they love us. However, family, isn't always as transparent sometimes. So in order to have an accurate read when it comes to that recommendation, definitely want to make sure that for the Early Advantage program, again, you can use an instructor, a professor, things like that. Now, if we're talking about the Flex or the executive program, of course, maybe a colleague, a manager, a person in leadership, someone that you've worked with that can again speak highly of you, but also be transparent in terms of that recommendation. So essentially your recommender or whoever you do put on your application will be sent a link, and they'll be able to fill out the form that is sent to them and speak on your behalf. Now, let's say if you do have a written letter of recommendation, that recommender can also upload that as well. But as long as it doesn't come specifically from you, you can send it to us or they can send it to us. So that way we can make sure that everything is copacetic there. Now, in terms of the GMAT focus and the GRE, again, it is optional, but if you do believe that it will aid in your application process and strengthen your application, you're more than welcome to submit that to us. So there is no minimum in terms of what we look at. We do accept the original as well as the revised, and it is only one aspect of your application. So again, we do look at your application holistically, and so if you don't believe that it will not aid in your application, you do not have to submit those scores. Alrighty. When it comes to your resume, when it comes to your resume, we definitely want to make sure that you highlight your academic and professional experiences. For my EA population, I know, you might not have specific professional experiences, but you can talk to a little bit more about maybe campus involvement, organizations, any leadership roles that you may have had. In terms of our flex and executive candidates, you can definitely highlight your professional experiences as well as any outside organizations that you may be a part of in the community as well. This really just helps us assess the best fit for you when it comes to the MBA program, specifically because we know what your goals are and how we can caveat that to make sure that we are helping you to achieve those goals. So we definitely want you to be as transparent and honest on your application because ultimately at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you are in the program that is the best fit for you. So please make sure that those resumes are up to date. Now, when it comes to your interview, this is all about getting to know who you are. Of course, we've read your application and we've seen your statement of purpose and we've seen your transcript, but your interview will honestly speak for itself. Once you come in or meet with us virtually, we really use it as an opportunity to dive a little bit deeper, get to know you on a better level, and really just talk through all the different aspects of your application so that way we can again help you to assess what is the best fit for you. So if you have any questions whatsoever, definitely be sure you are asking those within the interview process, and we are transparent as possible so that way there's no misunderstandings or hiccups or anything along the way. So definitely ask us as many questions as we are asking you so that way we can make sure it's a mutual understanding by the time you do leave your interview. All righty, so getting into a few dates here. So as you can see, we have our fall 24 as well as our spring 25 deadlines here. So that first priority consideration deadline is coming up again on Friday, March 15th. Our second round will be May 1st, and then our final consideration deadline for fall will be July 1st. So if anyone on this call today is looking at doing fall 2024, which I hope all of you lovely people are, just be sure that July 1st is the final deadline. And if you are considering scholarships, make sure you get those applications in by this Friday. Now, if you are looking at spring 2025, these dates are up here for you as well. So again, for scholarships, priority consideration will be September 15th. The second round will be November 1st, and then that final consideration deadline will be December 1st.